must say, I spent 10 years in Hollywood. It is a question of survival. And I'm an old man now, and I'm still working. I've got 7 films to come out. And it's survival. I shall never stop until the day when I stop. What was your first question again? Oh, no. They have to go through that experience themselves. I would never dream of telling a young actor what to do, ever. He's got to learn. And sometimes it's very tough. He learns the hard way. I did. And I think all actors should learn as much as they possibly can, so that when they have the opportunity of appearing in a big part, in a very big film, or a very important film, they have the experience and the knowledge to play that role as it should be played. Now, with regard to our film, I'm not saying this because Danis is here. I think it's one of the best films that I've ever seen about war, because it isn't just about battle, people killing each other all the time. Of course, that happens, and terrible things happen. And that particular war in Kosovo was appalling. And, well, it's still going on in certain places. But you see the other side, which I think is just as important. The people who are not in the war. Well, first of all, Colin Farrell and the other young man, they're not soldiers. They're photographers, which actually I think is much more dangerous, because they can't protect themselves. So I think they are probably the bravest of all, and of course the medical people. But the people who are left behind, the mothers, the wives, the fathers, the families, sometimes they get letters which are censored. Sometimes, I had to do that myself for people who were with me. I had to block out what they'd written. And in some ways it's worse for them. At least when you are at war, you know what to expect. And you know you've got to do something. As far as I was concerned, the most important thing was to hide and not be seen. So somebody once said to me, "What did you do in the war?" And I said, "Well, I spent most of it flat on my face." But that was really not quite true. But this film is not just a war film, not in my opinion. That is why I think it is so real. I don't get the impression I'm looking at actors and actresses playing a role and saying the lines. I believe that characters like my own certainly did exist in the Falange, in the time of Franco. Of course they did. Many of them. There are still people who believe in him. And it was a dictatorship. So was Hitler, so was Stalin, and so on and so on. There have been wars all through history. We were told in the Second World War, we are fighting a war which will end all wars. Look at the world today. Now this film, to me, has a reality on 2 different levels. What we see of the war and what we see of the people who don't know what's happening. And a young woman is waiting for her husband to come back. And when he does come back, he's somebody she doesn't recognise. And she doesn't know what to do. So she sends for me. She doesn't want me. She doesn't approve of me because I was with Franco, but needs a psychiatrist. And then there's the other girl. That's a different situation. She's just having a baby. But that's why I was so impressed by this film. It's not just a war film, not in my opinion. I mean, it's about war, but it's about human reaction and human behavior and how people feel on both sides. I hope I'm putting it correctly. Well, I mean,
you could have directed it. What? You could have made it yourself. I agree completely.
No, I mean, I've said a great deal, but then it's 5 years out of my life. And you don't forget, I don't talk about it. There's no point. But when I make a film like this, or I see a film like this, which I think Danis did a wonderful job, wonderful, and I think everybody in it is terrific. I think Buzz is great. I think the girls were great. Colin is extraordinary. Extraordinary. He's a wonderful actor. And it was a privilege to work with him. And I'm very happy about the film. And I think it deserves to be a very big success all over the world.